Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Decided to go crack a dawn here in Australia because here's most of the viewers are on at this time. So yes, it's early morning for me. Thanks for being here. I see we have 5 people. Maureen, I see your messages. So yes, I will address them. And I also wanted to address Susanna's request in the comments from the last live. First of all, I just wanted to ground in a little bit since I'm just kind of waking up and arriving back on planet Earth. Just going to sit for a moment. So if everybody can with me, take 3 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just settling into your body. Notice how you're feeling. How's your mind this morning? Is it quiet? Is it busy? Is it foggy? How's the body? How's it feeling? Is it screaming at you for attention, or is it relaxed and feeling receptive? How are the spirits? How's your mood? How's the heart? Just a little self-check and see where you're at. No judgment. Just whatever you're feeling, whatever you're holding, it is what it is. And feeling that contact with the earth. And just allowing your crown to be connected into the sky above. Notice your breath. I find when I sit and meditate that there's this really beautiful, gentle, slow oscillation through my spine that has me just oscillating. And you can find that spiral of energy from the tip of your tailbone, gently, slowly pulsing in a spiral all the way up the spine. All the way up the spine, into the brain and out through the crown. Let's take another deep breath and exhale. Welcome here. Thanks for being here. If you're new to this, my name is Sarah. I call myself a healer and an artist. I like the name artist because there's no boundaries to that word. I ask that this is an opportunity for you to ask for healing requests. Have consciously set the space as a sacred space, so that this is virtual, digital, sacred space. I acknowledge that all healing comes from the divine. I ask that you take what I say with a grain of salt. Don't believe everything I say. Sometimes the messages that drop in are very cryptic, and they're designed to be a little compacted nugget of cryptic messages that will somehow spark or ignite or awaken your consciousness. And it might not happen right away. It might happen later. You might be pondering something that I've said and it will suddenly drop in like, oh, that's what she was talking about. So what I say is not necessarily gospel. That's why I say don't believe a word I say. If it resonates for you, if it sits, if you hold it and it resonates as true for you, then work with it. If it doesn't resonate as true, then don't work with it. I also ask that you don't believe a word I say, because if you just are blindly following what somebody else, this little head on a screen, is telling you to do, then you're giving your power away, right? Really, my intention is to clear the threads and clear the patterns for you to be able to access that own inner knowing in yourself. Chicken agrees. Yeah, this is really about clearing so you can access and find those messages and those answers for yourself, because I truly believe that we have the ability to heal ourselves. There's an innate ability. The body's intelligent, consciousness is intelligent, and when you're receiving the input from external sources all the time, doesn't necessarily give you the answers, but what will give you the answers is your own inner knowing. And so part of this is to release what's blocking you from seeing and knowing. And yeah, with that, there's more that wanted to come through then, but with that, I'm going to just set the space once more with the gong. Hi, Nikki. Nice to see you. Hi, Cecilia. Nice to see you again. Hi, Nellie. Hi, Zara. Maureen, I agree with Nellie, absolutely. If you haven't been to the doctor already, please do. Please do go to the doctor. Generally, if somebody comes to me with any kind of ailment or complaint, I'll say, go to the doctor, tell me what they say. Now, if doctors have given you a blank and can't offer you a solution or a diagnosis or a prognosis or any kind of treatment, because many people that I work with have come to the end of that road where doctors can't help them. But it's very helpful to have the scans and have the tests and have the bloods and have the results and have a chart in front of you of what your body is telling you in that regard. So this is intended to be used as support, energetic support, right? Energetic support to whatever your doctor has advised. It will never counter what a doctor has prescribed. And there's a number of reasons for that. One, they'd throw me in jail and throw away the key. Another is that's just not right, right? I do not purport or promise to heal or cure anybody. I just am a mouthpiece for spirit I'm just a filter. I'm a human being. I have my own filter, right? So again, take what resonates, leave the rest. So that being said, voicing your health concerns here, also this is a public broadcast, so your requests are also your consent for me to focus on your health issues, which obviously are a very personal thing, right? And to be in a public forum, it takes courage, and I salute your courage to give voice to the things that you're dealing with. So Maureen, let's tend to your situation. So the healing helped last week, which is awesome that you had some respite. And then you became very ill and still weak and getting worse. Shed some light. Gut, the lower portion is raw and very painful. I'm still finding it very hard to eat anything other than rice and chicken. During all of the intestinal problems, I also had brain issues where it feels like sheet lightning storm in my brain. I've been gone for over a year, off and on periodically. For each of these episodes in the brain, I lose a bit of vision in my right eye and some cognitive function, and any help that you can give me would be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. Again, I hope you're going to the doctor for that. I hope you've got some insight from the doctor about that. Energetically, I actually want to ask about your living situation, Maureen. Are you located close to any kind of utilities or power source or electricity or power lines or factories or any kind of industrial works? I feel like you're sensitive in some way and picking up on some kind of discord in the electromagnetic field. It feels like a slice through. I'm wondering if the sheet lightning is like a slice through the center of your head on an angle, like a 45-degree angle, and it feels like it severs you in some way, and it feels like an external kind of attack. Slicing, it slices. That's what it feels like. The energy slices. So we're just going to clear that right now. Okay, we're going to clear that energy of the slicing that I see. It's almost like in a parallel universe. There's some kind of torture going on or something. Very science fiction. I mean, I would like to describe what it is I'm seeing, but it's something out of a science fiction movie, really. Right now, just working on the sheet slicing that's happening. Okay, feels like you're plugged into some kind of device, really. Maureen, if you can bring your focus right into the third eye. Feels like there's a lot of interference. This is where the kind of slicing is happening. Your right eye, I'm wondering if it's your right eye that you've had trouble with. I feel like, Maureen, because we, did the impaling last time, and now there's this science fiction scene that I'm shown. It's that you are a being who is very tapped in a lot of ways. Yes, sometimes we get a lot of hits, because each time we take a hit, and then you find the source of the energy and unravel it, that it then opens you to that next level of expansion. So even though you're going through it and you're having a lot of difficulty and you're really struggling, just know that there's this kind of exponentially sped up process of evolution happening in your difficulties. Okay. And I see this for people that are all in all stages of difficulty with their healing and their life. And no matter what is happening, it is kind of hastening or a speeding up of your evolution. So keep breathing, okay? Just keep breathing and knowing, regardless of anything else, regardless of what's happening in your life, this is a sped up kind of karmic resolution experience for you. And that is why it's so contracted and painful and difficult right now. Because you're clearing lifetimes of stuff, right? Doesn't kind of ease the pain, but it does soften the angst, a little bit about why is this happening to me, and what did I do wrong? And, all of these questions that you may be shaking your fist at God about, right? So just also saying those things to bring you to a place of acceptance about what is happening. Because so often when we're in a difficult period of pain or suffering or discord in our physical bodies, it's like we want to wriggle out of it and be anywhere different than where we're at. We want it to be different from how it is. And instead of coming to a place of acceptance that this is what's happening, as soon as I say that, Maureen, I just feel like an instant kind of relaxing expansion. So a huge piece of this for you is not fighting against it. A huge piece of this is just accepting where you're at, right? This is what's happening. This is what I'm going through. The injustice of it all, the unfairness of it all, the fear of it all, it's just what's happening. It's percolating, circulating, spinning, dissipating, dissolving lifetimes of stuff. And just being taken back to that kind of slice. It's like a giant shard of glass, but it's electromagnetic. So just continuing to clear that. And now I'm taken to the intestines. I'm seeing, just to give you the visualization of at your solar plexus, your third chakra, to at the back, unravel anti-clockwise. I don't know if this came through last time as well. At the front, unravel anti-clockwise. So there's a this motion happening. right? You want to draw the energy out. And this morning, before I came on, I was tuning in, and what dropped in was very much healing the inner child and acknowledging whatever your body is holding as trauma from childhood. So that in itself may be a lot to unpack, but that could be something that you investigate with a therapist or a somatic release person or any kind of counsel that will assist you to help unpack anything that's held in there on that level as well. Right? I feel like that is enough right there. That is enough right there, Maureen, okay? I'm just going to hold you in a little cocoon, a little fluffy, soft cloud, nest, egg, cocoon for the duration of this time and for the following few days. So that the energy holds and continues to vibrate and hold you, yeah? So that you feel like you're not alone. Yeah, that feels like enough for now. If you haven't been to a doctor too, like I know a lot of people are actually afraid to go see a doctor, and if you haven't been, part of the fear is the not knowing, right? So I always say it's better to know than not know. Okay, I'm glad your doctor's open too. Alternative healing, that's amazing. So okay, that's awesome, Maureen. All right. If there's any more specific requests, by all means, mention them here. Cecilia, you're open to receiving a healing. Specifics are very helpful. And I say that because it kind of helps me lock coordinates on the energy imprint. And it's not necessary, like I can do a general kind of scan, but it will really help with a surgical precision focus. So if you want to offer anything more. Okay, so you've had left eye floaters that are getting better. I want to know instantly if you've had some kind of impact on that eye. Did you take a blow to that eye? And if not, if you didn't take an actual physical blow to that eye, that's the energy that it feels like. Okay, it feels like it's taken a hit. And that may even be kind of metaphorical in terms of your vision of your life and what you're aligning with. So perhaps the dream that's in your heart and the vision for your life has taken some kind of impact. And so that there's distraction on the way forward. or things that pull your focus off that alignment. So Cecilia, can you take I'm going to bring your focus to the back of your head. Can you bring the focus to the back of your head and that left eye? Because what wants to unravel here is the energy at the back of your head, again in an anti-clockwise way, and while bringing this energy to the eye. So take a deep breath for me. There is a deep hum that wants to come into the eye. Can you make a beautiful drop the sound deep into your chest and hum for me? Hum into that eye, and you can even hold your hand over the eye. If you like, rub your hands together to start the chi flowing, and put the hand over the eye. It's bringing gold energy into the eye and allowing the release through the back of the head here, because whatever that impact was, whatever has thrown you off course, again, if it was an energetic impact, it's just allowing that to release. Any kind of impact with this actual physical energetic, there's like a car accident, for example, when a car comes to a sudden stop, there's a wah, 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 there's a reverberation that stays in the body. So car accident, I'm wondering if you've had a car accident, even something as a rear ending or a jolt, okay? That reverberation gets held in the physical body. That's why somatic release is so good for 50 years ago, there you go, still held in the body, the energy still held in the body. You would be surprised. Okay, so you've had double whammy there. Yeah, so any kind of shaking somatic release is good for you to release that reverberation in the physical body. And you may notice that by doing this in the eye and focusing on the eye, it actually starts to ripple down through the entire nervous system. Can you take a deep breath for me as well? We're going to just drop the energy. Feel like you've been functioning on kind of hypervisual, state of fight and flight, perhaps since the accidents. So take a deep breath. Just going to ground that energy out through your feet. Ground that out through your feet. I feel like as we do that, there's like some kind of sparking, like that it may have kind of created glitches in your thinking. Sometimes, like if you're focusing on something and something will and you'll get distracted. That's a classic kind of trauma response. So I'm just going to clear those glitches as well. Okay. I work on the premise that what is revealed to be cleared is what you're ready to process and integrate. So be aware that just receiving any kind of healing focus that is subtle like this, very subtle on the level of consciousness, just allow yourself a few days to integrate and process that. It will take a few days to ripple into the physical. Okay. Yeah. That's dissipating and dissolving, okay? Also be aware, I also tell people when they come to me for a session that, sometimes it can amplify the sensations, amplify the discomfort, because literally putting a spotlight into the shadows, right? So it's like, whoop, there it is. Okay, wow. and then clearing, and it can enhance and amplify what the physical sensations for a period of time. And I would say that that's also true for you, Maureen. Awesome, Cecilia. You're welcome. While I'm waiting for anyone else to pipe up, I'm going to just offer a clearing for Susanna, who mentioned in the last live that she was experiencing constipation and had for a very long time. So, Susanna, if you're watching this, or when you're watching this, I'll send you a note to chime in. Can you take a deep breath for me? Bring your attention to your bowels, to your colon, to your large intestine. What I see actually is that the compaction of energy is at the lower back, and that you've been holding your shit together. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that word on YouTube. We'll soon find out. But you've been holding it together. So trace back to when it started. I think you said 10 years old, when you were a child, and take an honest look about what happened at that time. Yeah, because since then you've been braced and holding your shit together. Like you had to grow up very quickly, or you saw something that was a lot to process as a child, or you experienced something that had impacted you in a way that shook your sense of self, and you had to armor yourself, and you had to dig deep to brace and hold. So just bringing the focus to your lower back. Take a deep breath. This energetic release is just going to start to soften that holding, okay? It's going to soften that holding. And while we're releasing and clearing that energy, it's like off-gassing, right? Like when you see moisture on a rail and the sun hits it. It's very cold in the morning and the sun hits the moisture and it starts to dissipate and off-gas, like the mist rises. That's the same kind of releasing here at the lower back, gently, okay, gently dissipating. And then at the front wants comfort. Thanks, Maureen. Go rest. Yes. And yes, inside timer, thank you. Comfort. So I'm wondering if there's some kind of self-soothing that's happening since then as well. It's like you're holding it all together, and some kind of self-soothing behavior came in. It's been locked in place. So I'm just going to, like, there's a mechanism of control here, like maybe you felt controlled. So we're just going to unlock that mechanism of control, yeah? Okay, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Take a deep breath into that. Spaciousness, freedom, self-motivation, discipline, the things you may struggle with, self-control. It's very spacious there now, where it was locked down, compacted, literally compacted, just like your guts compacted, right? So just keep breathing. Take some beautiful deep breaths into that spaciousness. Also, Susanna, I would look up, there's a modality called Chinitsang, and it's about healing the internal organs. And see if you can find a Chinitsang practitioner, because that is somebody who will work with the digestive system and work with the organs and work with the flow in your guts and moving that energy. And that would be a very nice add-on to this energetic. Also acupuncture, because really you're wanting the flow to happening. You're wanting the flow to happen in your life, right? And constipation is indicator that things aren't moving. Peristalsis is struggling at that level. That feels quite different. That feels quite different there. So anybody who's got constipation can work with that energy as well. Any other brave souls? Nelly. Follicular thyroid cancer. Nelly, when you say lost its concerning features, can you be more descriptive about that? So the doctors were flabbergasted because you were healing, I take it. First of all, I'm not actually sure what follicular thyroid cancer is. I would have to look that up. Okay, so that you were considered that it wasn't cancer. All right, spontaneous remission. Right. Okay, thank you. So you've done it once. I'm going to suggest you can do it again. And I also, working with anyone with cancer, worked with a lot of people with cancer. Anybody's healing, again, is in the hands of the divine, right? So all I can offer is prayers for healing. So I would do what you did again, because whatever you were doing, it worked, right? The confusion and wondering what you're doing wrong, let's just address that. You're not doing anything wrong, okay? You're doing nothing wrong. The body's going to do what the body's going to do. Life is going to unfold the way life is going to unfold. Sometimes these things happen and we think it's very unfair and we've done something wrong and what did I, do to deserve this? Or there's just, life is going to deliver some hits, right? So just be mindful that when you're asking yourself, what am I doing wrong? That is creating more confusion, right? It's the same with Maureen earlier of just accepting what is, coming to a place of acceptance, right? Because if there's this, wait, what? I just got this diagnosis, and it throws you into a state of agitation and fear and rumination about what the F and how did this happen and what have I done wrong, and this cascade of thoughts about something that is actually out of your control, right? Those thoughts aren't helping the situation. Those thoughts are creating agitation and stress in your field. So first step is to be aware of those thoughts that are kicking around and ruminating and haunting you, so to speak, and just being aware, catching them as they're birthed, and consciously replacing them with an affirmation, I am healed. Because that's going to bring the agitation and the mental realm into an alignment with your intention. Okay? That's going to soften the state of stress and the cortisol rising because you're agitated, right? That's going to soften the nervous system. So every time you have a thought, you may need to do it 1,000 times a day. You may need to do it once a day. Every time you find yourself in a state of stress of what have I done wrong? I'm confused. Affirm. I'm healed. I'm healing. I'm whole. And that's putting you in a positive mindset. Okay? Step 1, positive mindset. And if you slide off and you go into the distraction and the confusion, no judgment. It's part of it. It's just part of it. You just bring it in. You're seizing the reins of your mind like a wild horse bolting, and you're bringing it back into alignment. And you're affirming, I'm healed. I'm whole. I'm healing. You can even affirm spontaneous remission, complete remission, spontaneous remission, whichever sounds better and lands better. Spontaneous remission. Spontaneous remission. I'm a miracle child, right? You've already achieved a miracle. So have some self-reflection around that. Right? You've already flabbergasted doctors once, right? So there's a beautiful gift in that. What unfolds is in God's hands, right? You're a very powerful person. I'm very clear that when we're given a diagnosis or we're given some kind of health report that creates a source of agitation or fear, that there's a huge process around just coming into a place of acceptance with it. And when you come into that place of acceptance with the diagnosis, then you're able to take matters into your own hands and you're able to support yourself in a way that wasn't possible while you were still agitated and in fear. So, to the nodules on the thyroid of concern. Here's something that you can visualize 2-3 times a day in your meditation. And just bring your attention to the gland, to the thyroid gland, located in your body. I'm sure you know exactly where it is at this point. I'm sure you've seen it on many anatomical charts. hold the shape of it in your mind. If you've seen your scans and you can get a visual on exactly what the doctors are talking about, that's helpful too. You want to have the vision of it in your mind's eye. If you don't, you can look it up, you can Google it, you can see, exactly what they're talking about. Like there'll be depictions of it, there'll be graphics that you can look to understand what's happening inside your body. The way I see it, without having done that, is that there's that cells are mutating in a way, or that there's the deforming of the nodules in such a way that it raises concern, that there's a growth pattern on the nodules that is raising their concern. So you're consciously focusing your attention to shapeshift those nodules and restore them to normality. Does that make sense? You're changing the picture with your conscious intention directed at your thyroid. You're just like if you drew a picture and then you didn't like what you saw and you erased it and drew it again, right? Same thing, but it's all in the focus, it's all in the mind's eye, it's all in the realm of the imagination that you're zeroing in on your physical anatomical structure. And you can zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in to a cellular level. Everybody has that ability to zoom in on a cellular level, and you can talk to those cells and you say, hey, what do you need here? What is the distortion? What is the misalignment? Which begs the question, what is the distortion in your life, right? If you are living a life that is slightly out of alignment with your higher self, with the reason you're here on planet Earth, if there's something distorting you from being in alignment, ask yourself what that is in the bigger picture, in the external world, in your waking experience of reality. What is that distortion, right? So that's a question for consideration as well. How can you adjust things, whether it's work, location, home, people, the way you interact with others that is not in alignment with who you truly are, with your authentic self-expression, right here. So that's a question for you to consider in your healing journey as you focus on those nodules as well. Right? What needs to go? What no longer serves? What doesn't fit? And sometimes realizing what doesn't fit or serve or suit you is quite painful to let go of, right? So it takes courage to actually ask that question and look deeply and see what it is. But give yourself some time to ponder that question, because I feel like when you ask yourself that question, that it also it just softens the agitation right there. It softens the distortion, and the distortion comes across as this kind of twist, an energetic twist in the center of your chest. It just wants to unravel that and let that go, so you can breathe deeply into that place without that distortion, without that twist in the center of your chest. Food for thought, something to work with every day moving forward, because the healing takes time, right? Takes time. And in my experience, the healing takes time because in the process of the unraveling of what no longer serves, there's introspection, there's realizations, there's recognition, there's understanding about the nature of your being that was hanging on to a life that no longer resonated. So in the process of healing, in the time of healing, there's all these things that come into your awareness about how you've been operating in the world, how you've been relating to others, how you've been out of alignment in your truth. And when you come into that alignment and you operate from that place, regardless of what anybody else is projecting at you, expectations, judgments, opinions, right? When you come into that place of sacred alignment with yourself, then you can find what you need to heal, and nobody else is going to find that for you. The doctors are going to present you with a treatment plan, but they're not going to tell you what your spirit is trying to tell you. It's the missing piece in the Western medicine, right? And generally, doctors are doing a patch job or working with what the body is presenting, but they're not considering what the spirit is trying to communicate. So yeah, in that way, spirit doctors are much needed now, right? Because we are all suffering a malady of the spirit. Certainly humanity as a whole. So on that note, unless anyone else wants to pipe in, I'll just offer some healing energy for the collective, for whoever's here, for whoever watches this afterwards. This is meeting the energy in the moment. And what's coming through is the discord and the division, and all of us trying to reconcile with the polarity of the separation that we've been conditioned to understand is the nature of reality, right? So how this affects each and every one of us in our own lives, in our self, is feeling separated from the divine, is separated from Great Spirit, from Beloved, from God, from Goddess. So just take a deep breath for me here, and we just drop into that reconnection to Source, which is very possible through so many practices such as meditation. Hi, Jennifer. Hi. Hi, Jimmy. I'm feeling really sad. I feel that, Jimmy. I feel that. You want to share the source of that sadness, Jimmy? It's like you're really underwater, like drowning in sadness. Okay. Yeah, family, parents, tricky, right? So when your parental units are stuck in a rigid mindset, it's difficult because you hit a wall, right? And, you know, as a child, your parents are everything. They're your gods, right? They're your models. And if they're not giving you what you need, which is unconditional love, which is what any child wants and needs, which is actually humanly impossible to give 24/7, I will say that, as parent. But that's the nature of human experience, right? Coming into parents, and if they're particularly rigid in their mindset or old school, old paradigm, unyielding in their beliefs or their judgments or their opinions, then you're working with a particularly difficult, rigid structure of trying to find your sense of self, right? So as a being, what was modeled to you was this rigidity. And if you stepped outside the lines, perhaps you were met with disapproval or judgment or violence even. Perhaps you were met with reprimand in some way. And so this perhaps really damaged your sense of self because you were trying to fit into this little box to please parents that didn't know how to give unconditional love because they never got it themselves. Right? So that's what you're working with. Growing up trying to fit into a little box. And it's left you in a place in your life where you've been squeezed into this little box and there's no room for community or friends or loving relationships. And this enormous spirit that you have, Jimmy, is squeezed into this little box. So I want to say right here, right now, with witnesses to whoever is here, is that I see you and I hear you. Okay? And sometimes that's all any of us need, to be seen, to be heard, to feel unconditional love flowing from my heart to yours. And even though we've never met on the path, perhaps you can find some comfort, some piece of the sense of self that has been trying to fit into the box since you were a child, right? I feel fear around stepping outside of the box, Jimmy. Like it's safe and familiar in some way because it's all you've ever known. But I encourage you to take a different route on the way home, or go for a drive and go up a different road and take a vista or a scenic journey where you haven't been before. Because it's going to assist you to ever so gently move life in a different direction. Just a simple act like that. Walking home a different way, going to see a new sight, going to a place you've never been before. Take you out of your comfort zone, because if living in this little box has had you like a hamster on a wheel, well, there's no joy in there. You're just on the treadmill of life and there's no joy, there's no spontaneity, there's no excitement or newness, because the confines are so restrictive, and those are some heavy black lines around you, right? Part of me that wants to tell you that there is no box. That's a self-imposed box. The other part of me is wary that, like you open Pandora's box and poof, what's going to come out, right? There's a lot that is compacted in there. So gently, baby steps, being aware that you've been confined is first step, and taking baby steps to send out little tendrils of growth in a new direction so that the eyes can see that there is life outside of that box. And if you've made bad decisions in your life, join the club. You're human, you make mistakes, right? You make mistakes. And you learn from those mistakes. If you keep doing the same mistakes, if you're stuck in a grinding routine of repetitive, self-defeating, self-depreciating behaviors, get yourself a therapist for one thing, because you want to crack out of those, right? That's being back in the box. And if you're living with your parents, that's tricky because you're under their domain, you're under their roof, you're under their rules, you're under their conditions. You're still at the mercy of their control and their judgments and their expectations. So some kind of separation, even if it's just for an hour a day, even if it's just for a couple of days, even if you go on a road trip, even if you go camping, even if you just, get out to get some perspective, any time away would be helpful. Again, a different path, different route, seeing some perspective, reflecting on how you can do differently and step outside the box, right? Gentle with yourself, Jimmy. That's all I would say to you for now, okay? Those lines are rigid and held in place, and you want to very gently begin to step aside and get some perspective and allow yourself to think, because I suspect while you're in that box, literally and figuratively, if you're living at home with them, you want some objective perspective. Because a home creates a field, right? A home creates a generative field of their imprint. And if you step back, you can think for yourself. So part of that is detaching from all of their judgments, expectations, and conditions so that you can reclaim your own mental space. You can reclaim your own thinking. And remember that you're a beautiful being, worthy of love, worthy of self-care, worthy of sovereignty, worthy of living a beautiful life, right? Regardless of past mistakes. You make mistakes. You get yourself in a tangle. How can I do better? How can I move forward without that overshadowing my thinking? Yeah, take some time. Okay. Let me know how that walk goes. Get up high on a mountain somewhere or a hill where you can see the broader perspective. Get some fresh air. Breathe deep, fresh air. Spend time in nature. Could talk to the forest. Dr. Nature is the number one cure for most ailments, right? You're welcome, Jimmy. I'm just going to go back up the line and see if I've missed anyone. Agility bits high. Don't see so well out of my right eye. And hi, root stub. Hi. Thanks for piping in. Agility bits. So interesting when I don't have a name. If you can give me a name, I would appreciate that. Just that I know you're a real person. Agility bits, can you give me more information, or your name, or both? I'm feeling a cloudiness over that eye, but I'd like to have a little bit more information there. I'll come back to you if you say more. Zara, I feel really messed up and harassed, possessed and pulled down. Very little energy. I can't do much, mostly bedridden. I feel a lot of psychological brutality. I find it hard to get up. And you're scared. Yeah, I feel that. I knew I was going to need my rattles today. This is going to be loud, so if any of you have got headphones on, just be aware you might want to turn the volume down. Zara, can you close your eyes for me? And just bring your attention to the fact that your feet are grounded into the earth. Okay, if you're laying down, you can ground in through the bed. This is going to clear your energy field, okay? I do feel a very invasive force in your field, and it's very focused on you. I don't know who's targeting you with negative energy, whether it's a family member or somebody directing negative energy your way. Hostile. Okay, so if you're living with somebody like that, then that's tricky. First of all, we're going to seal your space, okay? So hopefully you're not in the same room as them. Hopefully you have your own room. You're going to put a ward at the door. I'm going to put an entire force field around the space that you're in, and an entire field of energy that is protective around your bed, and then an entire force field of energy that is around your physical body in your auric field, okay? So the whole space is shielded. And this doesn't mean when you walk out that door that you're not going to hit it again. It's just that you have a sacred space in which to reset your energy and to come into yourself and to feel whole in yourself and to restore and reset so that you're not under attack in your own bed. Okay? That you have a space to reset your energy and restore your energy. Okay, so here goes. Just, you can close your eyes, open your eyes, doesn't matter. This is for anybody who wants to clear negative energy away from them as well, okay? Under the bed. This is something that you can strengthen every day, okay? The space around you, the door, the window, around your bed, under the bed, in the closet, around your physical form, building, shaping, forming a force field of protection around you. You can call in the angelic realm, ask for protection, Saint Germain, the violet flame, you can look that up. Literally creating a force field of energy that repels and bounces back any negative energy that is directed at you, right? So you can breathe, and so that you can heal, and so that you can reset, so that you can regain your strength. And then when you walk out that door, you maintain that. You maintain that vibration that holds that force field. And so anything that comes at you is water off a duck's back. Can you take a deep breath for me in this place, because it's a lot lighter. I felt the suffocation before, like that there was just this feeling of being pinned and suffocated. You can rest now, okay? You can rest in this space. That very pointed kind of intense focus is being dissolved and dissipated as we speak. Just breathe into the spaciousness of that, yeah? You're setting the parameters for your sacred space, that none shall pass that is not in resonance with your being, right? It literally bumps out any energy that isn't in alignment with your healing, isn't in alignment with your highest good. And you're claiming that, and you can claim that every single day and every single night. You set the parameters. You set the parameters energetically so that your space is purified and the vibration is high so that you can heal, so that you can breathe, so that you can reset, so your nervous system can soften and relax and restore, right? Because if you're in a state of high stress, agitation, feeling under attack, there's no way you can reset in that. So this whole experience is giving you a visual, it's giving you a modality of how to set your energy morning, noon, and night, so that at least your body can soften and relax and heal. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Did we hear back from Agility Bits? We did not. Agility Bits, I'm just going to send you some healing energy for the right eye, which feels cloudy. So just going to dissipate that cloudiness, okay? Again, with the this happened earlier, to generate the chi in your hands. Place the hand over the eye. And infusing that eye with beautiful golden healing energy particles, all right? When you do that, you can do that morning, noon, and night. Just lay your hand on your eye. You can do both eyes if you like. Stimulate the chi. Visualize the golden healing energy and direct it at the eyeball. I see where the eyeball connects into the optic nerve, like that there feels weakened. I want to say weakened. That's where it feels like it's compromised. So that's where you want to direct that golden energy. And then metaphorically, the question is, again, as earlier, where is the vision of your life clouded? Where is the alignment in your life that is not clear? Where is the energy that's come at you that is hidden from view, who you want to be in how you walk through life? What circumstances have generated this cloudiness in your life. Generally speaking, the vision of self and purpose and alignment comes from other people's expectations and judgments, or pressure, or will, or coercive control about how you choose to operate and move through life. So by becoming aware of the things that have been projected at you and trying to navigate life with those things projected at you, you're also kind of reclaiming yourself in some way. You're claiming your alignment with what's true for you, what you want to do with your life, what you want to live in alignment with your vision for your life. What is your directive from on high, right? Regardless of anybody else's judgments and expectations. So clearing that fog, clearing that cloudiness, just like the sun coming out from behind a cloud. Clarity, sense of purpose, vision for a life in alignment with your higher self. That's what's on offer. And lastly, just a little unravel at the back of the head there too for the optic nerve connection. There is many exercises online that you can find that you could do on a daily to enhance and support the strengthening of the eye. And the other piece of this is I'm very clear that if we're all looking at screens all day, that this can be detrimental to the vision. The light off a computer screen or a phone screen is quite unnatural. So you want to make sure that you're giving yourself a break looking at screens. Okay. All right, my loves. I'm just going to seal. Lost my thing. Going to seal this energy in with a gong. Or if you're still here, still watching, thanks for being here. Again, take what I say with a grain of salt. If you found it helpful and you'd like to make a donation, please do. You support me to eat. And I'll do this again when I'm feeling called to do this again. It seems to be what people love. Nelly, I'll stay longer if people want more requests, but it seems like people aren't asking for help. So, yeah, I just linger as long as there's need. So with that, thank you so much. Thanks for being you. Thanks for being courageous. Thanks for doing the work. Thanks for being here. So much love. Did I miss Kamajit? I don't see a Kamajit. Ah, Kamajit. How can I help you, Kamajit? If that's how you pronounce your name. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing. I'll linger a while longer if you would like to be specific. There's your chance. And thanks, Sarah, for pointing that out. What's going on, Gamajit? Maybe they've left. I will speak to Kamajit. If you come back and revisit this, that I'll be sure to attend to you next time. They're just sending you a big blast of goodness. Right? So that you know that you're not alone. That you know you're not alone. Thank you, Nikki. Love you so much. All right, my loves. I'll see you next time. Bless.